Hey everybody, I am Adrienne and this is Jess. She's going to be helping us out today. And this is Awaken Through Rest, the place for all things restorative yoga. Today we're going to be showing you a pose called supported bridge, or it's one variation of supported bridge. So we're going to get Jess all set up and then we'll talk more about it. For this pose, you're going to need 2 blocks, 1 bolster, 1 strap, and maybe a blanket. So the way to get started with the setup in this pose is to have 1 bolster over the center of your mat. And then you're going to have a couple of blocks over here. You might have to do a little bit of trial and error depending on the length of your body, but you'll see what we're talking about when Jess comes in. So Jess is going to come sit on the bolster about 1/3 of the way up for the length of her torso. And then as she comes all the way back, her shoulder blades are going to hit the end of the bolster, and then her shoulders are going to basically come down to the floor. So they're hovering just a little bit, and you can make your adjustments just like she did. And then the arms are going to come up here to cactus pose. So the floor is kind of cold, so if you're somewhere where it's cold, slide a couple of extra blankets underneath the arms and the hands. So from here, she's going to extend her legs out straight. And so as you can see, her shoulders are spilling off of the bolster, the legs are straight, and she's got support right underneath the legs. So from here, we want to get her to strap in though. So she's going to bend the knees, take the feet to the floor, and then tuck the chin into the chest and press the hands into the ground and just come all the way up. Good. So now she's going to take her strap, and the strap is going to have a loop, so you can kind of see, and it's locked. And then she's going to thread her legs through the strap, right around the calf area, and really pull tight. So the idea in restorative yoga when we're doing this is that if we strap in the legs, then we can relax them more. If you feel like you're having to hold up your legs the whole time, it's going to be harder to relax. So once she's all snug, she's going to go ahead and come all the way back just like she did before. Good. And then arms come out, and then she's going to extend the legs directly straight. So once you get really comfortable into this pose, take a moment, a couple deep breaths, and just see if you need to make any more adjustments. Sometimes it takes coming up, adjusting the straps, pushing the blocks a little bit in order for it to feel just right. So there are a lot of great benefits to this pose. We're getting a light inversion here, which increases venous blood flow to the heart, which can be a great way to give the heart a break. Also, if you've had any vigorous action of the hip flexors, which actually can just include a lot of sitting, here we're stretching the flexor muscles in the front of the pelvis. So if you are not interested in or unable to do other more intense inversions like shoulder stands or headstands, this is a really great substitute in order to get a light inversion into your practice. So there are some things to be aware of with this pose. Obviously, you're getting a lot of pressure to the head, so if you have glaucoma or detached retina, this pose isn't going to be great for you. Also, be conscious if you have any kind of heart problems, check with your doctor. Make sure that this pose isn't going to do more harm than good. Lastly, if you have sinus infections, so again, pressure to the head. For some people with sinus infections, light inversions can clear up the head, but for some people it makes it worse. And so know your body, spend a short amount of time in the pose first, and then integrate it into your regular practice as feels good. So say we get Jess all set up and she's nice and comfortable. One way to sweeten the deal here is to place eye pillows into the hands and over the eyes. And then as always with restorative yoga, stay nice and warm. So once you're comfortable, you can start to observe the natural breath. Just the easy inhale and exhale. And then because of the way the chest opens in this pose, it might be nice to imagine breathing into the side ribs and even the belly. Good. So when she comes around to her next inhale, she's going to inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Find a gentle pause, and then exhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. And take a couple of natural breaths. Good. And then inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause into those side ribs. And then exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. After this, she can just move into a natural, effortless breath. So if this pose is brand new for you, then try 3 or 4 minutes just to see how your body feels. And then after that, you can stay in this pose anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes. So now we're going to start to transition out of this pose. So from here, she can kind of shimmy her legs out of this strap and then take the feet to the floor. From here, she can take a couple deep breaths, and then all you're going to do is start to roll to your right. Rest your head on your arm. And then after a few breaths, she can come all the way up. So the pose that we just did is wonderful, but it's also a really big heart opener. So for some people, it just doesn't feel so great on their bodies, and we want to reduce that heart opener just a little bit. So this is one variation that you can do. So what I've done is just unfolded a blanket and placed it lengthwise against the mat. And then I'm just going to take the edge here and roll it in. Just about a third of the way, or maybe just a little bit more. And then Jess is going to turn around, and I'm going to smooth this whole side out. And then her shoulder blades are going to come onto the roll, and her arms are going to be above the roll. So come all the way down. She might have to do a little trial and error. Yeah. Good. How does that feel? Good. Good. All right. So from here, she's still getting a nice opening in the chest, and then she can leave her knees bent here, especially if there's low back stuff happening, or she can extend the legs straight and get that whole front body extension that she did in the other version of this pose. So really flex through the heels and move the toes towards into your face. Good. So either version, knees bent, straight legs, nice open heart. So we hope you've enjoyed this video, this restorative version of bridge pose. If you think a loved one may benefit from this practice, we hope you'll invite them to join our community, and stay tuned for more videos at awakenthroughrest.com.